My name is Madison Clark, and if someone had told me 2 years ago that I would one day be sitting here, reflecting on how I learned to forgive the man who broke my heart, I would have laughed. Or cried. Or both. Because 2 years ago I caught the love of my life, Ethan Reynolds, cheating on me. Ethan and I had been together since our college days. We met during orientation week at the University of Colorado. He was funny, confident, and had a way of making even the most ordinary moment feel like an adventure. I was drawn to him instantly. For nearly a decade, we built our life together. Trips across the country, buying our first house in Denver, rescuing a golden retriever we named Max. We weren't perfect, but we were solid, or so I thought. The moment I found out about his betrayal is etched into my memory like a scar. It was a Wednesday evening. I was cleaning up the kitchen when his phone buzzed. Normally I never touched his phone. But this time something just pulled me to it. Maybe it was intuition. Maybe it was fate. Either way, I saw the message. Her name was Brianna, and the conversation left no room for misinterpretation. The world tilted under my feet. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. Just stood there, frozen, heart pounding, eyes burning. When Ethan walked in moments later, he knew immediately that something was wrong. I held the phone out without saying a word. The blood drained from his face. Madison, don't, I whispered. Not now. That night he stayed in a hotel. I stayed in our home alone, with Max curled up beside me as my tears soaked into the pillow. The days that followed were a blur of anger, confusion, and grief. I cycled through every stage. Denial, rage, bargaining, despair. The betrayal felt like a physical wound. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I would replay every moment in our relationship, searching for signs I missed. And yet, as the weeks turned into months, something strange happened. I started asking myself a question I never thought I would. Could I forgive him? Not because I condoned what he did. Not because I wanted to pretend it never happened. But because I was exhausted. The anger, the bitterness. It was weighing me down like an anchor. I wanted peace. But peace required something I wasn't sure I was strong enough to give. Forgiveness. I started therapy with a woman named Dr. Karen Fields, who specialized in relationship trauma. In our first session, she asked me something that stopped me cold. Madison, do you want to move forward with or without Ethan? It was the first time anyone had asked me that directly. Until then, I'd been so focused on the pain that I hadn't thought about the path forward. Did I want to try again? Or walk away for good? I don't know, I whispered. But I know I don't want to live like this. She nodded. Then let's start by helping you heal, regardless of what you choose. Through therapy, I began to learn that forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your own peace, your own story. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing or pretending it didn't hurt. It means choosing not to carry the weight anymore. Ethan reached out a few times during that period. Emails, letters, even one desperate voicemail at 2 a.m. I ignored most of them. But after a few months, I finally agreed to meet him. Not to talk about us. I wasn't ready for that. But just to hear what he had to say. We met at a quiet cafe near the foothills. It was the same place we'd had our first date. He looked nervous, older somehow. More fragile than I remembered. I sat down, folded my hands in my lap, and waited. He didn't make excuses. Didn't try to defend himself. He just said, I messed up. I betrayed the one person who loved me without conditions. I hate myself for it. And I don't expect you to forgive me. But I needed you to know I'm sorry. Tears welled in my eyes. Part of me wanted to reach across the table and scream, why? Another part of me just wanted to sit there and breathe. I appreciate you saying that, I finally replied. But sorry doesn't erase what happened. I know. It wasn't closure. Not yet. But it was a start. Over the next year I did the hard work of healing. I journaled. I leaned on my friends. I took solo trips, New Mexico, Oregon, Tennessee. Anywhere that helped me reconnect with myself. I spent long afternoons hiking with Max, breathing in the crisp air and reminding myself that I was still whole, even if cracked. And slowly, the rage began to fade. One night, I sat alone on my porch, watching the sunset. I remembered how Ethan used to hold my hand during moments like this. I remembered his laugh, the way he used to surprise me with flowers, the way he used to call me Maddie when he was being sweet. I also remembered the pain, the betrayal, the nights I cried myself to sleep. But I also realized I didn't hate him anymore. Hating him took energy I no longer wanted to give. Forgiving him didn't mean I wanted him back. It just meant I was ready to stop letting the past control me. So I wrote him a letter. Not to reopen wounds, but to close them. In it I wrote, "Ethan, you hurt me in a way I never thought possible. What you did broke something deep inside me. But I've done the work. I've rebuilt. And I want you to know. Forgive you. Not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace. I'm not writing to invite you back into my life. I'm writing to release us both. I hope you find healing. I hope you learn from what happened. And I hope you never treat another person the way you treated me. Goodbye, Madison." After I mailed it, I cried for hours. But not out of grief. It was release. I haven't seen Ethan since then. I don't know where he is or who he's with, or if he ever read the letter. But I do know this. I'm no longer angry. I'm no longer broken. Forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you. About choosing peace over bitterness. Growth over stagnation. Today I live in a small town outside Boulder. I work with a non-profit that helps women recover from betrayal and trauma. I tell my story not because it's special, but because it's real. If you're reading this and someone has cheated on you, I want you to hear me. You don't have to forgive them today, or tomorrow, or ever. But if you do choose forgiveness, let it be for you. Let it be a gift you give yourself. Because you are worthy of peace. And peace is possible, even after the deepest heartbreak.